Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This week's video I just wanted to do a little sit down one-on-one with you guys and to share my K1 visa experience as a Jamaican with you. And as per my previous videos that I've posted, I've been getting a lot of questions in the comment section in regards to the process, what it was like, what we did, etc, etc. So I just wanted to share all of that with you this week. Usually I would upload a vlog, but for today you're gonna get this type of videos. So if you're interested in finding out how the experience was for me, then keep watching. So if I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. I have my notes right here with everything that I'm gonna be discussing because I want to keep on track with everything. Let's begin. To start, the process that I migrated to the US on that we did was the K1 visa. What is the K1 visa? The K1 visa is a process that allows the US citizen fiance to petition for his or her alien fiance who is residing in another country to join them in the US for the purpose of getting married. And with this particular visa, you get 90 days within which to get married. If you do not marry within the 90 days, then you will have to return to your home country, and you can't marry to anybody else outside of the person who petitioned for you. So if it is for whatever reason when the person decides to say, okay, we don't want to do this no more, this is not what we want to do, we don't want to get married anymore, then you will have to return to your home country. Alright, so with the K1 visa, just gonna give you an overview of our situation so you'll have an idea, because remember, every case is different, so everybody's case will be different. My case will be different from yours. You might get through faster than I did, yours might take a little longer than mine. So you cannot judge it to say, oh, how yours go through already and mine no gone through, no, etc. Everybody's case is different, so you have to bear that in mind as well. So with our case, my fiance is a US citizen residing in the US. We have been dating for a while. We've been dating since 2018, so it's been a long time. We have a child together. We have one daughter together, and we also already had plans in mind for us to get married. So we were talking about marriage even before deciding whether or not we wanted to do the K1 visa or the CR1 process. We didn't use a lawyer to fill out the forms, to get the packet together, to send off the process. We did everything from start of the petition to where we are now by ourselves. It's pretty easy to understand, but a lot of persons don't really get or don't understand. So if it is that you need some assistance, then seek the assistance. The information is there. YouTube have a lot of videos. Even though in pertainance to Jamaicans, there's not a lot of videos. There are videos, but not a lot that shares detailed experience, you know. But it's out there. There are groups that provide it on Facebook, all of that. You just have to go and do your research and read and follow up and follow the instructions to the T. Alright? And we did this by ourselves. No RFE, none of that. First go, approved. Alright, so the K1 visa allows the foreign fiance of a US citizen to come to the US and get married within 90 days. It's a non-immigrant visa, meaning that you don't get a green card upon being approved or entering the US. It only allows you to come to the US for the purpose of getting married. So it means that you are temporary in the US until you are married. Then you file for adjustment of status, which then allows you to get your green card. The K1 visa, to me, in comparison to the other filing processes or the other options that you will have, is a quicker option than the rest. As of August 2024, which is August this year, the K1 visa filing process timeline, which is the USCIS stage of the processing, is between 3 to 6 months. So within 3 to 6 months you get an approval notice from USCIS, as long as you have proven that your relationship is bona fide and you are both free to marry within 90 days. Then you will get your approval notice to go ahead to move on to the NBC step, where you will go to the embassy. After you've done your medical, then you go to the embassy for an interview in order to obtain your visa. If you are already married, you cannot apply for a K1 visa. Now remember, you don't have to take my word for it. The information is there on the internet. If you want to read up on whether or not you are eligible, just go up on the internet, type in eligibility or requirements for a K1 visa. All of the information will come up. There are videos on YouTube. I will try my best to link the videos that I used when we were going through our process that helped us greatly, and the information was to the T, very detailed. I will link those information in the description below. So the links to those YouTube videos, as well as go up on Google, type in the questions and ask questions. Persons are willing to help and willing to answer any questions you may have. Right? So you don't need to go pay a lawyer no amount of money. Just utilize the technology, utilize the resources that are around you, persons who have been through the process, all of that. So how do you apply for a K1 visa? The first thing you're going to do is, not you, but your US citizen fiance will have to file the petition for you. Alright, so there's a form that they have to fill out, and this form is the I-129F form, which is the petition for alien fiance. You're going to fill out that form. There are tons of videos on YouTube to help you to fill out the form. When it comes to these forms, they can come off rather intimidating, but the resources are there. I found a lot of videos. My struggle with the videos were that it was mostly persons from the Philippines, and they're not talking in English, they're talking in Filipino, and I couldn't understand anything. However, there's this lady, this American lady, who was filing for her fiance who's living in England, and she went through in detail in a video on how she filled out her form to petition for her fiance, and that video helped us a lot. How to put the packet together, everything to the T. Alright, what evidences you may need, all of that, I'll be linking that video in the description box. So in case you need some resource to help you with filling out the forms and help you to put your packet together, everything, watch our video. Anything you should say, once it applies to you, do it. Because I followed that video and we got an approval with no RFE or denial. We got through within months. Okay, so her video, the information she provided in that video was great. So you're gonna go through the form, fill out all of the information that is necessary. I use a PDF app to fill out, and even though I use the app, it still won't allow me to fill out certain fields. So what I did was to fill out what I could, or we filled out what we could on the form, and then we printed the form, filled out the options or the areas that weren't being filled out on the app, and then you wet sign and date the form when you're finished. Ensure that you sign when you're done, because they will send it back to you to sign. I don't want that. Alright, you don't want to hiccups, you don't want to hold up. You want to make sure it's everything to the T and they have everything that they need. So ensure that once you print that form, you go through it again, fill out the areas that you miss. Anything that doesn't apply to you, just write NA, don't leave no blank area on the form. Alright, once you have finished filling out the information on the form, you're gonna go ahead now to sign it with a pen. Don't sign it on the app, sign it with a pen, wet sign it and date it, and then you're good to go. Alright, now filling out the form is not complete until you have gathered your evidences. So the evidences that you will need is, you will need to provide proof of relationship. So How do you prove your relationship? Plane ticket itineraries, or plane tickets, travel itineraries, hotel itineraries or reservations that you've made, Airbnb reservations, dinner date reservations. If you've traveled outside of the US and outside of the country that you're in this case, if you travel outside of Jamaica together and outside of the US, the plane ticket itinerary for that, pictures, messages or text message conversations between you both, whether it's on WhatsApp, iMessage, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, anywhere on the text, regular email between you both, or any picture, anything will show us on the meet in person. Pictures with you and his family, pictures with him and your family, pictures with your friends, pictures with, if you have children, with outside of each other, pictures of them with your child, pictures of you with their child or children. Anything you wanna have can prove say you're in a one relationship. Gather those evidences. Alright, so pictures you've taken over the years, text messages, all of that. For us, what we did, we sent pictures of ourselves together since our very first date. We have pictures. We sent all of our text message information, the appropriate ones. So text messages on WhatsApp, text messages on Facebook Messenger, Instagram, iMessage, the whole works. We talk everywhere. So all of the messages we could have find, we put them together. We also had screenshots of some of our FaceTime conversations, so video call. We sent those as well. Pictures of us together, pictures of me with his family, pictures of him with my family, pictures of all of our families together. We go out a lot, so pictures from when we're going out for his birthday, for my birthday, for other occasions, date night pictures, gifts that I bought him, receipts of those gifts, gifts that he bought me, receipts of those gifts, everything. But we don't put all of the evidence and everything together to file the board this stick. We had to get an extra large envelope to send, okay? Because remember, say I'm from 2018 this, so it's a lot. And you don't have to send everything, but just send as much as you can so that they don't have to send back for more evidence. Better they send more than what they want than you send too little and you get a RFE, which is a request for more evidence, and then you have to end up send back more evidence and wait for them to process those and wait to hear back from them. So send as much as you can. Alright, it's important to send pictures because they need to prove that you have seen each other at least once within the last 2 years of you filing. Alright, because you need at least one time in-person meeting between you and your petitioner in order to file, in order to show that yes, we have a bona fide real relationship. It's not no over the phone relationship, no over computer relationship. It's a bona fide real deal. Okay, so you want to make sure you have all of your evidences together, ensuring that you have the payment to go with the packet, because if you don't have the payment, them nah look on it. Okay, now USCIS does not accept cash. You can pay with a money order, with a check, or you can fill out their credit card authorization form. I'm gonna link that form below. I'm gonna link all the forms below in the description. Fill that out and it gives them permission to run your credit card for the payment. When they're done putting everything together, ensure that the payment is on top of everything. Alright, so before as I open the form, as I open the folder, the first thing they're supposed to look on is the payment, whether it is the check, the money order, or the form, the authorization, credit card authorization form. Alright, so you're gonna put all of that together now and you're gonna send it off. Now remember, how to put the whole packet together is in the video I'm gonna link below. Go ahead and watch it. Okay, so you know how to put your packet together in terms of organizing everything, so it's easy for them to just go through and find everything that they need to find. After we did all of that and put our packet together, we sent off our petition to USCIS. Babe mailed it off last year July. I believe it was the 26th of July when he mailed it off to USCIS, and he was tracking it to see how far it reached. And then once they received it, they sent him a text message to say, hey, we received it and we're gonna be processing, etc, etc, etc. And then like a couple days afterwards, the payment come out by my credit card, because we did the form, the credit card authorization form, and then that was it. He did get the notice of action, the first notice of action in the mail from USCIS, letting him know that, listen, we have it, we're gonna process it. And it also contained our case number, receipt number. A case number is important because that's what you're gonna use to track the process, to see how far along it is, if there are any updates, etc. That's how you're gonna track it, using your case number. To track ours, I had downloaded an app called the USCIS case tracker app on my phone. I put in our case number and that's where I would see the updates. This is where it gets a little impatient. You have to wait. They received our file in July last year, July 2023. We waited. So we waited until about September to start checking if there are any updates. We didn't see anything. We're like, okay, that's a good thing or a good sign, because that means that everything is okay so far. September, October, nothing. November, nothing. December, still nothing. I had stopped checking at December because it was getting a little impatient and I was becoming frustrated, so I stopped checking. January came, I didn't check. February came, I didn't check. My birthday weekend, my fiance was in Jamaica for my birthday. After my birthday was Easter weekend, and I was out because I was a teacher at the time, so I was out for Easter break and I was checking. And then on the 5th of April, when we returned back to school after the Easter break, my fiance was dropping me off to work the morning and he just randomly said to me, you check to see if like nothing changed or whatever. I was like, no, I'm not check, because it was saying the same thing every time I checked. So I stopped checking and it was like, oh yeah, check. And I just said, okay, let me check before I come out to go inside. I checked it and it changed. So on April 5th is when I saw the note, the status say sent to the Department of State. Me never understand what that mean. Poor me at the time never know, say me get approved and then send off my case already to NBC for process my visa or whatever. I didn't know that. So I was like, well, it changed, but what does it mean? Like, what it means that them send me case to the Department of State? So boom, jump on Google, do a bad search, and that's when I realized that, oh yeah, the case approved, and then send it off to NBC to get processed.
God no.
So I was moving to the next phase, which was the NBC stage, which meant that they were going to be sending my case to embassy in Kingston for me to start preparing for my interview. Now this was April 5th. Couple days afterwards, NBC messaged my fiance and said, listen, we received your case and we're about to send it off to the embassy in your country, which is the embassy in Kingston, which might take up to 6 weeks, so be patient, etc, etc. Guys, would you believe that? I kid you not, like a couple days after that, when I look to see, alright, when I hear back from them until about, like, this is April, so next month we hear back from them. We'll probably hear something to say, yeah, them get it at Kingston and we can move on to do medical and all of that. A good thing say him keep up to date with him email. Kingston Embassy sent my welcome letter like a couple days afterwards. No joke. Couple days after, I received my welcome letter from Kingston with a list of things that I needed to do in preparation for the interview. So I needed to do the DS 160. So with the K1 you have to do a DS 160 and you have to do it yourself. They don't do it. Everything what you have to do now in preparation, you have to set everything. So you have to set your embassy appointment date, pay the fee, set your appointment for the interview, and set your medical interview as well. Alright, so that was the stage that we were at. I also had to go ahead and get my police record done. I had to go to RGD and get no impediment, which proves that I am not married and I'm free to get married once I entered the US. I had to get one of those, and then I had to move on to go and see what vaccines I could get in order to kind of save on the money in terms of doing the medical. So you also needed to gather your necessary documents. So other than just getting the no impediment and your police report, you also needed to get your birth certificate, because you will need it. If you were married before, you need those certificates. So the marriage certificates from your previous marriage, or if that partner is dead, you need the death certificates, which is the original copies. And you also need the original copy of your divorce decree if you were divorced before. It has to be original. Them not accept no copy. Has to be original. Alright, if it's not the original, you can hold up your process, because then you will have to send the original to the embassy for them to complete processing so you can be issued your visa. Alright, outside of that, you're also going to need to bring your passport, and if you're applying for a K2 as well, bring your child with you. 1, to the interview, and 2, make sure you walk with them birth certificate as well and their passport. You need 4 copies for the medical, and you need 2 copies for the interview. So in all, I need 6 copies of passport photos, right, for each applicant. Ensure that you have that. Once you hear back from NBC, or once you get your approval from USCIS, jump on getting your police record. Don't wait. Alright, and you know Jamaica system go already, and you know want to be that person where go an interview and say you're not get it back yet. If you have a pay for it express to get it back fast, do that. But ensure that you get on it. Stay on the ball, get it going, because you know why not hold up a process. Evidence of support, so your partner or your fiance or the person who's filing for you will need to fill out an affidavit of support along with their tax transcripts, IRS receipts, or W-2s. If you feel like, or if your person feels like they might need a sponsor, a co-sponsor, to ensure that you have good standing in terms of financial support when you come to the US, you can get a joint sponsor. And the joint sponsor will need to have their passport, their US passport, tax documents, whether it's IRS, W-2s, etc. They will also need to sign the affidavit of support form. So that long form there, I will link the video below that we use to fill out our affidavit of support form. Alright, now you gather all of these documents in preparation for the interview. I had a little folder, a little plastic folder, because remember you got embassy and one bag of something. You can't wear no jewelry, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go in with a bag. So all I did was to put all of my documents that I was bringing and organize them and put them in a plastic folder. So in case it rain or if no juice or water spill, them won't get wet. So I had them, and then that's all I walked into the embassy with, just my plastic folder with my documents, and that was it. Don't forget to print your DS-160 confirmation page, and also you see that page, the last page there that you go to after you pay for the visa, when you set up how you're going to collect your passport, all of that good stuff, you're going to print that page. There's an instruction there that says print this page and bring with you to your interview. Print that page and walk with it as well. Walk with that same page when you're going to do your interview. That page is going to show your interview location, time, and date as well. So you want to ensure you read and keep up with everything, because if you miss nothing, it can be detrimental to your process. Listen, I've heard people go through some things just because they miss an email, or they miss a message, or they miss an instruction where they're supposed to do something, where they're supposed to upload something with them, and it threw off the whole process. So you want to ensure that you read. So for my medical, this is what happened. So I had my medical date for June 11, 2024 at 7 a.m. We got there earlier than the time, which was good, because let me tell you something about Andrews now. You see, when you set your appointment date to do a medical and the time, you will set a time to say, oh, it's 10 o'clock. And somebody will have a time at 1 and get there at 8 and get through before you. You want to ensure that if you can reach there earlier than the time that you have set, you reach make sure you get up out of your bed early and hit the road jack. Alright, because you know want to sit down at Andrews until 5 o'clock in the evening, and it's gonna take a long time. Trust me, it's gonna take a very long time. So you know want have to sit down at Andrews and wait whole day and just not follow the time of your appointment. So if you have a later appointment and you can reach early and get through early, go. Make use of the opportunity. So we got there earlier than my appointment time, and I went in to the nurse. She asked me what's filing process. I told her. She asked me for my passport and the passport photos. I gave them to her, 4 of them. She also asked for my immunization record, and she asked for the confirmation page. With the other spousal visas like the CR1 and the IR1 and the other filing processes, they would get a letter or a email from embassy with their interview date already set. But because I set it myself, with the K1 you have to set it yourself. They won't set it for you. So I didn't have an email to show, but I printed the page, the confirmation page, after setting the interview time and date. I printed it, I walked with it, and I gave it to her. Said okay, and then she went to process my stuff. Then you go back outside to sit and wait to hear your name. Now listen, you know what, if you walk up and down all over the place, I got a bathroom, I got a tuck shop, I walk go down your road, I walk come back, sit down and listen to hear your name. Because if you're not there when they call your name, your spot is gone. They're just gonna move on to the next person. So listen, if you hear your name call, or if they're using number at the time. Some people say they use number. When I went, it was names. So I was sitting there and I waited for my name to be called. The first time I went in, got my eyes checked, my weight, blood pressure, asked me a few questions about my medical history. Oh yes, and you have to fill out a medical history form as well. So ensure that you do that. It's on the Andrews page. So download it, fill it out and walk with it. Alright? After I did that with the nurse, do our checks, etc., then I went back outside to sit and listen for my name again. Now the second time when they call you in is to confirm the information that they have that you gave. So like your name, make sure that the spelling of your name is correct, your date of birth is correct. They're gonna ask you for the address that you're gonna be staying in the US. Make sure that that's correct as well. The address you're living in Jamaica as well, give them that as well. The passport information correct, everything is just to check and make sure that everything is correct. All right, now after they finished that, we went back outside to sit again and listen for my name to be called. Now this time when my name was called, it was to go in to see the doctor. Now when I went in to see the doctor, he asked me some questions, asked if I smoke, if I drink, if I have any history with depression, anxiety. If you do smoke and you know you have to get the minute you're filing paper going, stop smoke and flush your system. Okay. He also asked like if I ever had any miscarriages, etc. After all the questions, he then went to check my breathing, my lungs, my heartbeat, my pulse. Him looking at my ears, in my mouth, in my nose, in my eye, touched my tummy, etc, etc. I'm just doing, you know, a regular check like when I go to medical, if I go to school or do anything else. And after that, he just asked me a few more questions, and then that was it. I was free to go back outside. Well, before I go back outside, he did say to me that I was outstanding 4 vaccines. So even though I go get some of the vaccine them at the clinic, I was still outstanding 4. But the thing is that what he said to me was that with the K1 visa, it's a little different because once I enter the US and get married, I have to do another medical and I can do the vaccines then. So I just tell him, say, alright, me wait until we reach, me do the vaccines. So I didn't get any additional vaccines. Plus I'm just the outer vaccine. And I already had my COVID vaccine. So I was good on that. The other vaccines, I think Andrews, they said they were out of 3 of the 4 that I was supposed to get. So I was like, okay, I'll just wait until me come up, me get them. And he was like, okay, that's a smart choice. After that, I went back outside and was waiting to hear my name. This time when I went back inside was to pay. I had to do a blood test, a syphilis blood test. I didn't do a urine test. and I also had to do a chest x-ray. So all of that came up to 26,000 something. I don't remember exactly how much, but it was around that. But walk with more money because you never know. I walked with about $50,000 to ensure that I had enough money to pay for everything. After the medical was done, now it was time to wait for my visa interview, which was on June 25th, 2024.